All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to the latest edition of Chin Check Sports Radio. I'm your host, JD. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us. And as always, we welcome any suggestions, feedback, comments, and criticisms, which improves the quality of our program, which ultimately improves your listening experience. Before we get started, I want to tell all of you thank you for your tremendous support. People are slowly but surely finding out about who we are and what we do. They enjoy and respect the passion with which we speak. But as we always say here at Chin Check Sports Radio, we do this because we love it, as we are simply sharing our passion with you all as we continue to build our listening army to take over the world. You know that we are your go-to on YouTube for Dallas Cowboys coverage during the NFL season, as well as all Dallas Cowboys coverage throughout the offseason. You know the Dallas Cowboys, we do not gloss over wins, nor do we overreact to losses. But damn, this loss was just a little bit different. The 2024 Dallas Cowboys Week 2 season home opener. A dominating loss by the score of 44-19 to the New Orleans Saints. Let's jump into our numbers. Quarterback Dak Prescott, 27 of 39 attempts, 293 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Rico Dowdle, 7 carries, 30 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 6 carries, 16 yards. Deuce Vaughn, 2 carries, 11 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 4 catches, 90 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, 6 catches for 82 yards. Eric Kendricks on the defensive side, 8 total tackles, 3 solo. Damon Clark, 7 total tackles, 3 solo. Donovan Wilson, 6 total tackles, 2 solo. Trevon Diggs, 5 total tackles, 4 solo. DeMarvin Overshawn, 4 total tackles, 4 solo. Kalen Carson, 4 total tackles, 4 solo. Chauncey Golston, 4 total tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss. That's the only sack that the Cowboys received. Micah Parsons, 3 total tackles, 2 solo. Maris Leafu, 3 total tackles, 2 solo. Jordan Lewis, 2 total tackles, 2 solo. Linval Joseph, 2 total tackles, 1 solo. Malik Hooker, 2 total tackles, 1 solo. Osa Adigazua, 2 total tackles, 1 solo, 1 tackle for a loss. Folks, again, we're not going to overreact because we don't expect the Cowboys to go undefeated. However, we do expect a little bit of effort. Ladies and gentlemen, halftime of that game, the Dallas Cowboys were down 35-16 at home in their season home opener. The New Orleans Saints was run through the Cowboys like a little hoe. The Saints took the opening drive, marched down the field. Cowboys, they get a field goal, another 60, 70-yard bomb where you got DBs just getting beat bad, and the Cowboys seem to have no answer on the defensive side. Now, again, this is not a fire Mike Zimmer broadcast that we're doing. This is a prime example of why last week, with the win over the Cleveland Browns, we told Dallas Cowboy fans, let's pump the brakes. It's week 1. Let's see how they respond. Clearly, they've been reading their press clippings, and they played awful on defense. Folks, is it just me that they still can't stop the run? Maybe it's not the scheme. Maybe it's not the coordinator. Maybe it's the players. The Saints were lining up and running right at the Cowboys. It seems to be a recurring problem, really, for the last 5 years, and it's still there. The Cowboys can't be wrong. I don't know what the problem is. It is the players. Some of these guys have to go. Micah Parsons. We love us some Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons talks too damn much. Every time we always hear, he always has something to say. He just has to let people know how he feels. The fact that he's more locked in than he's ever been before, even though you've been in the league since 2021. You have the keys to Mike Zimmer's defense. And yet today I saw no sacks. I didn't see any impact plays that you made. But yet you know all the talking about how you have the keys to Mike Zimmer's defense and you've been unleashed and unlocked and you're being utilized the way you're supposed to be utilized. And yet you had a rather pedestrian day along with the rest of the defense. But yes, since you are the leader, the vocal leader, and at some point you're going to want to be the highest paid defensive player of all time, guess what? We're going to call your ass out. I have other players, don't know, but they're a poor effort on the defensive side, so something's going to have to get fixed. Quarterback Dak Prescott, we give Dak credit for trying to kind of take one for the team by saying, hey, we're going to learn from this, we're going to grow from this. Dak, for this one, we're not going to come at you too much because, Your defense couldn't do anything now. I can make an argument. You're kind of supposed to make some plays or some field goals that you got really should have been touchdowns, but this is not really a Dak Prescott game. The defense decided to either take the week off or they forgot to catch the flight to Cleveland or the flight out of Cleveland. But we will say this, the Cowboys, and there's always been some concern, outside of CeeDee Lamb, what weapons do they have? Because some of the other players, they're just not cutting it. Is it just me, or we notice Cowboys are barely even going deep? So they need somebody to take the top off the defense. They're going to need a speedster. Stop with these unknown guys who people don't know and trying to, force a square peg into a round hole. Go out, get you a number 2 receiver, or go get you a true speedster, a guy who runs a 4-2, 4-3 that can take the top off the defense. Because even with Brandon Cooks, again, 2 catches for 19 yards, get you another weapon because these other receivers are just not cutting the mustard. And again, I don't know if the Saints were just that good or the Cowboys just today were that bad. We're going to just chalk it up to one day. And also, we're going to say this. We read to you the stat line of the Dallas Cowboys running backs. Can we stop this crap of running back by committee? Dalvin Cook, who is the best running back on the team, is currently on the practice squad. We'll be the first ones to say we're not familiar with NFL rules about calling players up from the practice squad. They have to be there for a certain amount of weeks. But if Dalvin Cook is able to be activated tomorrow, he needs to be activated tomorrow. I can make an argument as a team was walking off the field, Dalvin Cook should have got a phone call to say, be ready in practice with the first team tomorrow and not the practice squad. Let's just stop. These running backs are not it. Dak Prescott has been proven when he has a good running game and a good offensive line, this is what he does best. Get the ball out of his hands. He's just not that guy, and it's okay to say, let's elevate Dalvin Cook. This is a prime example where I'm watching videos of Jerry Jones walking back to the locker room with a sour look on his face. Jerry, this is your going all in. And you're going all in, and go back to our broadcast. Of all the players you thought to bring back to improve the team, you thought Ezekiel Elliott, he was a choice. Not the other free agent running backs, Ezekiel Elliott. Let that sink in. No other helper receiver besides CeeDee Lamb. With the tight end Stevens being injured, our offense looks very pedestrian. However, when I pay a quarterback $60 million, you're supposed to make things happen with what you have. But at the same time, no other offensive weapon besides CeeDee Lamb and virtually no running game. We're going to give the young rookies on the offensive line credit. Again, this is more of a defensive failure today. So the Cowboys are going to be playing the 0-2 Ravens. So we're talking about a Ravens team who can't afford to let their season go down the drain. And it's going to be definitely, I don't want to say a big game, but a rather important game next Sunday. So definitely you can reach out to it at chinchecksportsradio@gmail.com. Once again, our email is going to be chinchecksportsradio@gmail.com. And until the next time, it's Chin Check Sports Radio. Signing out. Oh! And we saw a video from a big fan of the show, Lee, a good friend of ours. Thank you for the video. And to all the New Orleans Saints fans, we're not mad at you for hosting a parade in Dallas. We have no problem with that. You came through, you ransacked the Cowboys. You deserve to have every parade and do whatever it is that you had to do down in Dallas. Don't care. Not mad about it one bit. Until the next time, it's Chin Check Sports Radio. Signing out.